Welcome back to We Talk. I'm not even tell you what episode it is because we're only doing a couple while I'm here. Let's just rock. You want to know the episode? You know the last one. Go check it out. I don't even remember, to be honest. You might. Neither do I. I don't even know. It's been 2.5 months. I don't know. We are back.
Welcome back, Ryan.
Man, I missed you, bro.
Welcome back.
Fuck.
The guy's back in the city of Toronto. No longer in the city of angels.
Man. Yeah, I miss you, bro. I miss the city.
Miss you too, man. Yeah.
I didn't really miss the city, but I miss the energy in the city. I mean, it's still kind of weird with COVID, but as soon as I landed back in town, I went to Slow Jam Party, and like that brought me right back to like, I'm like, this is what I'm gonna miss. Like, there's parties in LA, obviously. There's parties around the world, but I feel like there's something about partying with Jamaicans in Toronto that like you just don't find that in the States.
Are there a lot of Jamaicans in LA?
I bumped a few, but a lot of them are just American.
Yeah, I feel like
a lot of people are just American.
Yeah, I feel like Caribbean Americans are more American than anything.
Right.
Whereas here,
like their background might be Jamaican, but they're like, I'm American. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Whereas here, we would
embrace
identify as first as I'm Jamaican.
Right. Born in Canada, but I'm
Jamaican.
Exactly.
That's who I am.
So yeah, like I literally landed from LA, got dressed, and went to Soul Jam Party. Shout out Alyssa Monet. Yeah. Shout out Marlon, DJ Jester, all you guys. It was dope. But yeah, I definitely will miss that energy and just slow jams and the soca and old school R&B and just they'll play those stuff in the States.
Yeah.
But the energy is not the same.
It's not the same.
It's just not the same.
Why do you think it's not the same?
Because I feel like people in the States really embrace US culture. Like I feel like it's like I'm sure there's areas where they're like, okay, they embrace the Caribbean side and there's parties and stuff. But I from the parties I've gone to, the events I've been to, like even when like, a dancehall track comes on or whatever, like everyone's so cool. Like everyone's too cool to, to bruck out and sing at the top of their lungs. And it's just not, I feel like
it's a good point.
Maybe in Atlanta it's a little different just because there's more black people in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It might be,
Yeah.
But in LA, I feel like everyone's too cool in LA for that type of stuff. But again, I'm not really going out to party too much anyways. But anyway, this was a 2-week trip that turned into a 2.5 month excursion.
That wasn't planned.
That was not planned. I ended up going to Miami twice, New York twice. Actually, New York 3 times, Miami 2 times, and Detroit within those 2.5 months.
Okay.
Coastal trips, like East Coast to West, like out, bro.
I was seeing that. Like
I'm like flying across the country back and forth. Like that was killing my body, first of all. Like I did like at one point I did like twice in a week. I was in Miami, went back to LA, and then had to go back to Miami again. No, I was in New York, went back to LA, and then had to come back to New York for another event. And then went back to LA and had to go to Miami for an event. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in Miami for this week because I had to come back.
What?
I was like, these are back to east, east to west, like completely different ends of the city.
Must be fucking up your internal clock,
bro. I couldn't sleep. I kept waking up at like 4 a.m. like LA time, so that's like 7 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm like I couldn't go to sleep. Like it was a lot, but all worth it. I met a lot of people, connected to a lot of different things. Yeah. Ended up shooting, the Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight. That was really dope. And after that, I was shooting a private suite. So I ended up meeting Michael Vick, was like an all-time hero of mine.
I was gonna say,
that was amazing. What else? I mean, I directed and produced and shot a commercial in Detroit for this company called Bad Credit is Childish. They basically do credit card consultations to help Black people in the community get their credit better. But they sell these t-shirts that say Bad Credit is Childish, so they want me to come up with like a little commercial for them. So they flew me out to Detroit to do that. That was a really big project and really fun. Rekindled with Marcus Stroman in New York. He flew me out to New York.
Does he live in Rhode Island? Where does he live?
Long Island. Well, Long Island. He was staying at while he's playing with the Mets. His house is in Tampa, but he's from Florida. he's from New York. Like his family is from New York, but his mansion's in Tampa.
Yeah.
But now he plays for the Mets, so he's kind of home with his people. But he rented out a mansion like in the Hamptons. He wanted to shoot something there, so flew me out to there. That was really dope to connect with him again. We're gonna do some more stuff for his brand. Height Doesn't Measure Heart. What else happened? Went to New York for another mansion party for July 4th. The other guy owns this massive mansion and pool and basketball court. Like, there's just been, honestly, like it literally, so much was happening, bro.
Yeah.
Shot Tory Lanez in Miami at a birthday party for DJ Irie. We had another event in Fort Lauderdale for Nicki Jam.
The massive.
Reggaeton. Yeah. So that was nuts. Then Jake Paul and Logan Paul came. I think the night before. It's a blur, bro. It's a blur. Yeah. It was a blur.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to what we've been talking about when we first started our podcast and first started doing anything. Like, we didn't know. Like, I didn't know what would come from this. You didn't know what would come from what you're doing. I see you've expanded to directing and doing other things behind the camera, and like, you didn't wake up with this plan, bro. Like,
no, man, like I at all. And it's funny because you mentioned the directing thing. I just did this piece for Nike the other day, and the guy that I was the artist that I was featuring in the video is this guy named Jordan Sook.
Oh, Jordan, he's cool.
And his stuff's really fucking dope, right? Really, really cool. But when I first met him and we were talking like over Zoom, it felt like me and this guy had known each other for years. Like, we just been friends.
Like a one-on-one convo?
It was like a group. Okay,
group
of people, but I really had to just figure out more about him and his backstory. And if anything, all three of us will get along because he's talking about his art, and he's basically saying that he didn't go to school for any of this. That he taught himself how to do all the things that he's doing now, which is kind of like he was an athlete prior to like doing any of this. And I'm like, bro, this is like me and Ryan.
Same stories.
Same story, bro. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I didn't teach myself any of this shit. So for me to be doing, or for us to be doing a lot of the things we're doing now, sometimes I find it kind of obscene, right? But then you have, people talk about imposter syndrome, right? Like, I don't know if I should really be doing it, blah, blah. And like, I've just kind of reframed my whole mindset around imposter syndrome, because sometimes I have it, but really imposter syndrome is really just your brain letting you know that you're doing really dope shit, and you can't believe that you're doing dope shit. It's not a matter of, it's no longer a matter of,
am I good enough?
Am I good enough? Like, should I really be here? It's like, no, your brain is actually trying to let you know you're doing some crazy shit right now, and you can't believe how dope it is. Once you start thinking of it that way, as opposed to, I don't know if I should really be here, blah, blah, it changes your whole perspective on it, right? So that's funny. When you explain all the things you're doing, and this is how our relationship has been, I'm never like shocked. Like, when you tell me these things, I'm not like, I'm like, what? Like, you got this? Like, because it just makes sense. Like, but I'm an outside party, so I can look at it differently than you, and you do the same thing for me, right? So it's really interesting when you think about it.
It's funny. I've talked to a few different creatives about, imposter syndrome, and a lot of people have said they have it, and my stance has always been the same, and I've actually never had imposter syndrome since shooting and stuff. Yeah, but I think that's because of my attitude towards basketball.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be here, kind of. Yeah,
I've just, even when I was just beginning doing what I was doing, I was like, and it's also a personality trait too. Like, my personality, I'm very very raw, very outgoing, very I don't give a fuck. Like, so I think there's a portion of my personality that's part of it, but also just my attitude towards competitiveness that imposter syndrome never actually had space to set in, because I've always been blindly confident. Like, even if I don't know the fuck I'm doing, no one will ever know. Like I refuse. I will never let someone know that I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Unless it's gonna hinder me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I'm like I really can't do something, I'm like I should tell them before I fuck this up.
I should let them know.
Yeah.
I should let them know.
Not like that. Like where I apply for something I don't know how to do anything. I'm just like I'm fucking guessing. No, but like when it comes to like just growth or learning or being in certain rooms or meeting certain people, even if I don't feel like I deserve it or don't feel like I just got lucky or whatever it is, I'm just like, yo, I deserve to be here because I'm the best. Like I'm the best person on the court. You could have LeBron James on the court with me right now. Stats say he's better than me. Yeah. His height says he's better than me. His fucking resume, he's LeBron James.
But your mind will.
But I'm like, I might beat you today. Like, I'll probably get killed. Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, I need to find a weak moment. Like, I don't care if he says I wasn't even trying. I don't care your excuse today. Yeah. I don't care if you slip and fall and that's how I end up beating you. I'm going to like, Jim's like the reason why you lost doesn't matter to me. Yeah. If you end up slipping and if people, he's because he slipped, that's why you won. I don't go a fuck. Like, I'm not going to play different because of who he is. Because anything can happen, bro. I literally believe like, he probably will still destroy me. Not probably. He definitely will. But I'm not going to play like that. Yeah. I'm not going to play like this guy's going to destroy me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that same type of confidence, even when I have no business having type of confidence, I just have it. Yeah. And I think that's allowed me to get in certain places that maybe I shouldn't have been in. Maybe I probably wouldn't have been in without the attitude because the way I move. Like, I don't know if I told you when I was in Miami a couple years ago, I met Kevin Hart, that whole story. Yeah. Bro, I wasn't supposed to be on that stage. Yeah. I wasn't. Like, I genuinely wasn't supposed to be on that stage. Yeah. I had photo access and the media pass to shoot ground level stuff. People, like celebrities in their booths and stuff like that. It was for the Maxim magazine party. Yeah. And I had media pass that literally said ground level functions. The stage was a private thing. So Kevin Hart was up there and different celebrities were up there. Rick Ross and all these people were up on the stage. But that was like another section that was cut off. You can't just go up there. And I seen him up there and I'm shooting stuff on the ground level. And I saw a couple of photographers try and go up and there's a D security guy at the front. He's like, no, move. They're like, oh, I'm just, no, move. And he kept moving now. I'm like, they look too scared. Yeah. Like he knows it. Like he's reading right through them. He knows they don't belong up. Like they're going up. They're like, yo, like, oh, I'm just like, if you're supposed to be somewhere, you're not even looking at security, bro. Yeah. You just move with confidence. Yeah. And the thing is security, like if you're supposed to be somewhere, you're not checking in with, you're actually in my way. Like, excuse me. Like you're actually in my way. I'm supposed to be here. And I just kept watching how they're moving. And I'm like, I'm just going to walk. Yeah. I'm not going to look him in his eye. I'm not going to show him my pass and be like, oh, here, like, because my pass doesn't say I can be up there. So I'm not even going to do all that. The pass doesn't say media. So how I ended up shooting Kevin Hart, I literally walked, after I saw those guys fail, I waited a little bit because I'm like, I'm not coming right after them because that looks a little sketch. Wait a little bit, shot some stuff on the ground level, played my role. And then when I seen like he was kind of chill, I walked and I just walked. I was like, oh, like kind of moved his arm like, oh, sorry, I just trying to go up. I saw him try and glance at my pass, but I didn't give him enough time to register that like that wasn't the right pass. He saw a pass hanging. I brushed him like, sorry, like, excuse me. And someone who's not supposed to be up there is not going to brush him. Like mentally, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's thinking. Yeah. He's like, if he was supposed to be here, there's no way he'd like bump through me like that. So, and I was like, you know how security guards are, like you never want to lose your job stopping the wrong person either. Imagine I was supposed to be up there to say, you stopped me and now let's say Kevin Hart's like, bro, what are you doing? Like now you look stupid. Right? So I know that was an element there too. So I'm like, if I move enough that like, if he stops and he might feel dumb. Yeah. And all this stuff just goes through my head, but it's all just energy. It's all energy. It's all just blind fucking confidence. Me just thinking I'm the fucking man regardless. So even if I'm not, like, that's just how I move. And I got on stage. Once I got in there, I didn't leave because I'm like, I'm not going to try and do this again and potentially get caught the second time. But I stayed on stage and I'm meeting him, talking to him, shooting him. And he's not going to be like, you're supposed to be up here. Like, if you're up here, you're up here, you know? And that's how I got those shots. But that's literally how I've moved with anything I've done. You know, like no one's ever going to know if I belong, if I don't belong, because I'm not going to show that. You don't show that type of weakness. Yeah. You know? That's just in my style.
Yeah.
But
no, that makes a lot of sense. You know, and that plays into, you know, why we've been able to do what we've been doing so far. You know, like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it or where it comes from. To be honest, I just attribute a lot of the success I've had so far to being an athlete, like first and foremost. You know, like I grew up playing
the work ethic.
Yeah, playing competitive sports, and it was never like it was like rare that I was on shit teams. Like I was always on good teams, or I was at a high level individually. So it's tough. Like I'm a sore loser. Like I really am. Chris and I were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Dog, we play in
flag football?
Touch football.
Oh, touch.
Right? And it's in Saga. And I think there's only like 4 or 5 teams in this league, bro. So you face the same team
over and over again.
And some of the niggas in this league, they're like old heads. And then Chris will be talking to some guys, and he's like, "How long you guys been playing this league for?" And these guys are like, "Not long. You know, I've been playing with the same team for like 6 years, kind of." That's a long time.
Yeah.
6 years is a long time, right? But it's like, I think we lost last week,
right,
bro? It's touch football.
Yeah.
Touch football. It's not for anything. It's not serious.
I wonder if it's the same thing my dad used to play in.
Maybe, but it's not that serious. But
it's serious.
After the games, if we lost, me and Chris are just cheese. And I'm like, yo, I have some real psychological issues when it comes to losing.
Bro, I'm gonna fuck with it.
I hate losing.
Yeah.
I hate losing so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a sore loser to the point where like other people around me won't like me.
Yeah, and you're gonna be moody towards them and stuff like that.
I'm not like that, but I promise you, like,
internally
it'll eat me up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I have to avenge myself.
Yeah.
So we got to win this week.
Yeah.
And it felt so nice. And I was like, yo, we just beat like these 40-year-old dudes.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, if you're on the field or the court with me,
let them know. I need to let them know he's the alpha right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I think like that mentality from sports just kind of works really well in the creative world, if I'm being completely
100%.
Because like you can't what's it called? You can't teach someone how to be competitive.
No.
You really can't.
It comes from you.
It literally comes from you, and I think you can cultivate that at a early age.
Mm-hmm.
But if you try to teach someone when they're older to be competitive, it's not gonna work.
Because they don't have. There's no chip. They don't care.
They don't have it in them.
It's just like
they don't have it in them.
It's like it's all good as long as we're having fun.
They don't, and it's like, okay. So when I go into the creative world, I never really feel competitive in the way where it's like I compare my work to other people, or I'm like, why didn't I get this opportunity and they did, or I got this because you didn't do that. I never really look at it that way. It's more like I become very competitive with myself.
That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I become very competitive with myself, and I say, all right, well, they gave me this gig. All right, I really have to prove to myself and them that I'm supposed to be here.
Right.
And that I'm just going to prove to everyone what they already know. You know what I mean? I'm always competing with myself, and it gets to a point sometimes where it's like, not that I doubt myself or I wish that I was further. It's just that sometimes I say, why did they pick me for this? And then by the time the project's done, I'm like, I know why they picked me.
Right.
You know? So that's things that I'm working on, but it's good. It's good to just see the progression of like where we kind of started to where we're at now. It's just so funny thinking about it.
Trust me. Even the fact that like I don't have a home right now.
Yeah.
Like
where are you staying?
My grandparents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like my whole home is in bins and boxes.
Yeah.
In storage.
Yeah.
Like that's so fucking surreal to me.
Yeah.
I've lived on my own for the last 4 years, and now I don't have a home. Yeah. My home is in a fucking box.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, who would have thunk that? There's like,
did you see this happening 3 years ago?
I wanted to do it, but I was kind of like, it's never gonna really happen. Like, it's not actually gonna really happen. I'll probably be in Toronto for most of it. Like, I would love to go, but like, it's not really gonna really happen. Like, I didn't really know anybody out there. I was like,
yeah,
how would it make sense? Where would it come from? Like, yeah, I mean, like, there's I had so many things like I want to, but like, how? Like, how?
Yeah, how's it?
You know what I mean? How's it gonna really happen realistically? And now that it's realistic, I'm like, whoa, like, I really packed up my whole fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Like I really have an empty apartment. Like I really like gave away a bunch of my shoes and sold a bunch of my stuff and don't have a fucking TV and threw out my bed. Like I'm like, whoa, like
yeah. And you're gonna drive your car.
And I'm about to drive my whip. 37 hours to Los Angeles. Like that's a story I can look back on and be like, yo, do you remember you did this fucking shit for the lifestyle you're at right now? Like, I don't know what's going to happen when I actually get there and then, you know, years after, but I know I'm going to look back and be like, I fucking drove here. Like I drove here from Canada.
Yeah.
Like
you gotta get the LA license plate with your name. You gotta do that.
I want to. And they have these new license plates now.
Yeah.
They, you know the regular license plates, it's California.
Yeah.
Those are the regular ones.
Yeah.
They got new ones now. They're black and yellow.
Oh,
they're so tough.
It's California, but it's black.
Yeah, they're rolling it out now. I saw in a couple cars.
Yeah,
it's like black plate, yellow font.
Oh, that sounds.
It's so sick. It's so sick. I saw in a couple of them. Just like, yo, I need that plate. I need that plate.
I'd be shocked if. I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna have that.
What? My name?
Yeah. No. There's no way.
No, I mean just like the plate itself, like that color, because you can still get the old ones. The old ones are white. It just says Californian handwriting.
Yeah.
But these ones are like literally look like Steelers, like that type of color.
Yeah.
Completely black, yellow font.
Interesting.
It says California. I was like, yo, these plates are sick.
Okay, so speaking of California, like what was it like just living there for 2 months?
2.5 months, yeah.
What was that like being a Torontonian? I felt there was a lot of people from Toronto out there, but
I actually bumped into my friend's sister out there. I didn't know she lived out there. Yeah. Another girl from here that I ended up shooting, Reese. She's from Toronto. She also yeah. Oh, okay. She's from Toronto. She moved to Malibu, so she's out there. Like,
she moved out there?
Yeah, she's out there now.
Like doing what?
Who knows? I mean, I didn't get that deep into her life, but yeah, she moved out there. Yeah. She moved out there since I think March. She said. So she's out there. So I ended up running into some people from Toronto, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But as for myself, like, LA is like. Here's the thing about LA. Here's the thing about Cali.
Yeah.
Cali is not just LA.
Yeah, it's friend, like
right. So I think that's what people get confused sometimes, especially if you're not from the States or don't travel often. A lot of people think that like not all of Cali, but like most of Cali is LA. Like people think Cali like, oh, LA. I'm like Malibu's not LA.
Yeah.
Santa Monica's not LA. Venice not LA. Like these are
very different.
It's different vibe.
Very different. Yeah.
West Hollywood, like LA is like Toronto, and then the other cities are like Scarborough, Brampton. You know what I mean? So like when you say I live in LA, it's like someone saying I live in Toronto. But there's shit happening in Mississauga. Like you're in Etobicoke, for example, like wherever, like Parkdale. Like there's other places other than LA,
like Burbank,
right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think starting to learn the other places of California is something I've also started to enjoy and see the vibes completely different. Like I don't even really want I generally don't want to live downtown LA.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
I don't want to downtown LA is dirty, bro.
It is.
It's dirty.
I've been there multiple times.
Yeah, it's
Skid Row, like all that shit.
Bro, it's dirty. It stinks. There, like downtown LA makes you realize how good we have in Toronto.
Toronto is
clean.
Yeah, it's incredibly clean.
It is clean.
Yeah.
Like we don't really appreciate how clean Toronto is. Like we see garbage is full. That's a good thing. That means we're still trying to put stuff in the garbage.
Yeah.
If you see like those full garbages, like people are still trying to put stuff in the garbage.
Yeah.
To the fact that it's full, which means we have the courtesy enough to fill garbages.
People have the mentality here to say, hey, we should throw this out or recycle it. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
You'll go around Toronto and see full garbages and you're like, oh, wow, that garbage is so full. No, that's good. It's good that's full. That means everyone's working together. There's literally just like dirt and garbage just on the ground everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. It's just everywhere.
You want to know how wild San Fran is?
I haven't been to San Fran.
So I haven't been, but my boy told me because he's been, right? And it's like San Fran, like, you know, tech capital of the world, one of the tech capitals. And San Fran is also like
filthy,
so dirty in certain areas. Like the homelessness is crazy because the disparity in wealth is nuts.
Right.
Like it's not uncommon for people to be paying like $3,000 for rent in like not a great place.
Something regular.
Right. But it's because everyone there makes so much money that they're just like, fuck it. So they actually have an app in San Fran I wish I could remember the name of it, but basically, when you log into the app and it lets you think I'm making this up.
What?
But it lets you know. You log into this app.
Where homeless people are?
No, not where homeless people are. It lets you know like where shit is on the streets.
It's shit spots?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Bro,
because it's so bad.
They're shitting in the sidewalk.
Yeah. So
bro, it's happening in LA too.
So the app will let you know.
That's an app for it though?
On this street, like, yo, it's bad today.
It's bad today. Oh.
I wish I was making it
No,
up.
I believe you. That's crazy.
Swear to God, it's real.
Avoid this sidewalk today. It's pretty messed up.
Oh, where are my new J's?
Oh man, little bit, bro. That's I didn't know there's an app like that. I don't know if LA has one, but LA there's definitely human shit on the sidewalk. Like it's sad,
and how
it's really sad.
And there's the other thing too. Like every time I went to LA,
so many homeless people are black too, bro. Which like that hurts my heart. Back on.
Every time I went to LA, it was like you need a car, bro. Like if you go to LA, okay, let me rephrase. If you go to California,
Cali,
depending on where you stay, like unless you've made the decision in advance, I'm only going to be staying
in
here.
This one place.
I'm gonna go to Malibu. I'm only gonna stay in Malibu.
Yep.
I might go to Santa Monica. I might go.
It's down the street a little bit.
I might do one of those, but for the most part, I'm staying here. If you know you're not gonna do that, you absolutely need a car
for sure.
So, what was it like there without your car?
Oh my! Uber is expensive in LA, in Cali. They like, and I think they know that they're in Cali, so the prices are it's just outrageous to go down a 10-minute drive. Here's the problem. You might be going like 3 miles, but it takes you half an hour because of traffic. And you're like, it's right there. But like, there's so much traffic on the highway to get that place that like, you might as well just walk.
Traffic is
it's
awful,
so bad. But I
remember taking the maps. Had to go somewhere. Put the address in the map. Literally the entire route was red.
And it's not far.
The entire route from when I left the crib to when I had to go. They're like, hey man, it's going to be a while.
Bro. So yeah, I spend a lot of money on Uber. I don't even want to check the price I spent. I'll have to check it later, but a lot of money on Uber. And the thing is, I thought about renting, but then I was like, then I have a problem with, not renting, renting a vehicle. I thought about doing that, but then I was like, then I know where to park it. So I'm like, if I rent a car, I'm going to have to find somewhere to park it and then I have to pay for parking. I'm just like, But I'm like, looking back at everything I spent, I probably would have saved money if I just rented the car for the month and paid parking for the month.
Because
I rented and paid parking every day for that rental, I probably still would have got more out of my money for that.
You should.
I just didn't do it because I'm like, I probably want like a little Uber here, a little Uber there.
I know you're driving your car down, but like in the future, anywhere in the States, look into Turo.
Yeah, I have it now.
Yeah, because I used it when I was in LA.
I got it now, but I literally got like, because I had to do a couple of shoots in LA. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't want to Uber there. So I literally got like near the latter end of my, because people just rent their own cars, right?
Yeah. It's pretty good. Like,
but I'm saying even that, like, I'm like, I planned to do that, but I was like, this might cost too much because I have it for so long. Yeah. But the amount of money I spent on Uber, I literally could have kept a car for a month or the 2 months and found like a $20 parking a day and still probably been cheaper.
And you would have been fine.
But fuck, you live and you learn.
There's something I was going to ask you about.
What?
Another thing about LA. Actually, no, it was the whole Uber thing. You talking about like Uber being so expensive.
Yeah.
So fucking, I found out recently why, like, you saying Uber is expensive in LA makes sense. I don't know if it's become even more expensive than what it typically is, because in Toronto it's become like infinitely more expensive.
Oh, it's gone up here too?
Insane. It's insane how expensive it is. Like the other day I took an Uber from here to this bar/restaurant called Soul Shakers.
You didn't want to drive?
Lens. It's on Bloor Street.
You didn't feel like driving?
I didn't feel like driving.
Yeah.
I was gonna drink, but it was like, it's literally like a 10-minute drive from here. I plugged it in the Uber and it said it was going to be like $20. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not taking a highway. There's no traffic. I'm literally going like down 3 roads. Like,
that should be like $9.
So basically I was told recently that, a lot of basically a lot of drivers get paid shit money for doing this because of COVID. For a lot of drivers, it made more sense for them to go on like Serb than continue driving Uber, right? Because it can't be both. Now,
so they have less drivers now, you're saying?
So now there's way less drivers. This might apply to the States too.
Sure.
There's way less drivers. But here's the thing, like Uber is probably the best example right now of us seeing like one, how capitalism works, and two, us contributing to like poverty. Because our demographic are the ones that are like the most affected by Uber being expensive,
right?
Because we use it the most, right? It's outside of us. It's probably like maybe the occasional older demographic who's got to take,
because like the rest is using public transportation.
Yeah,
public trans.
Yeah. So for us, it's like, okay, like imagine like
Uber's almost bougie in a way.
But think of it this way: you call an Uber, right? And you see that it's going to cost you $20 to go 10 minutes away. There's a part of your brain that's going to, I don't know if I should do this. Right? It's expensive. So you say, fuck it. I'm not going to do that. I decline. We literally contribute to like someone who's driving for Uber, not getting
paid now.
Right? Like we contribute to the
right. Yeah.
But if we say, sure, we're going to do it, we're literally contributing to like capitalism because these people don't want to pay the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this weird thing. And I like when it was broken down to me, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Cause I'm like, why the fuck is it so expensive now? I don't understand. Like things are opening up. People want to go back out. Like people are driving. And it's like,
they also know that people are going to be using it more, and
there's less drivers, so they're trying
to double down to account for it.
And it's not even like they're paying the drivers more money. It's just the prices have gone up, and I'm like, this is nuts, bro. So I can only imagine
it's ridiculous.
What it's like in LA, because that shit scares me. Like if I was in LA
and it's USD,
yeah, like I'm in LA
every
and
time.
I want to go to like, I'm trying to say, if I'm in Burbank and I want to go to like NoHo or whatever, West Hollywood. That's not like a really close drive, but it's still enough where I'll take an Uber. That's going to be what?
Like, at least 50 USD. Like what?
Bro,
to get to the airport from downtown LA?
That was probably like 80 something.
50 to 60 USD to get to the fucking airport. Like I have no choice. I got to go. But it's just robbery. That's USD.
What's the conversion again?
We're at I think the last time I checked it, we're at like 127, 130 on the dollar. Something like that.
For every US dollar, it's like 75 cents.
Exactly. Bro. Canadian dollar is weak. So weak.
You want to know how truly weak it is? I fucking had the bright idea of going to England. I'm going to England.
Oh, the change to pounds?
Fam, just guess. Just guess what the conversion is.
You got pound money already?
Huh?
You took out pound money already?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh,
I'm not. I may take out some, but I probably won't.
Yeah.
Card. Guess how much $1 Canadian is worth in $1 British pound. Guess how much that gets me. Just guess.
I would say since the last
1,000. Just say 1,000. Canadian dollars. What do you think that gets me?
How much do you lose?
Yeah.
Well, when I went to Europe, which was like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like
you went to, but they don't use euro. Remember, they use pound.
Sorry, when I went to London, maybe when I went to London like 4 years ago, it was almost. It was almost double Canadian. It was almost. So like it was like 180.
Okay.
So like if it's still fluctuating around the same thing, I would say if you get $1,000 Canadian and want to get pounds, I'm estimating you will get, and we're in COVID and all this bullshit, 630 maybe.
I'll get 573. 1,000 Canadian dollars
cut
is worth 573 pounds.
Cut. Bro, I said 630 being nice. God damn.
500 like,
and it's one of those things where it's like it's not even like the lifestyle's lower. Like you might get something for 1,000 pounds out there. You're still spending 1,000 pounds. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
in comparison, like it's one of those, like, it's not like you're like, okay, because I spend 1,000 Canadian, that means if I want something in London I like, it'll be adjusted. Like, there's no
adjustment,
bro. You're still gonna eat out for 60 pounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like, you're not like, okay, because it's in pounds, this meal's only 20 pounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? No. But you go to a restaurant in London, you're still gonna spend 50 to 60 pounds.
If I go to if I go to London and I spend like 200, if I spend $200 here on a meal, like for me and a girl or whatever,
Canadian,
I'm gonna spend 200 pounds in England.
You're still spending that $200.
400. Like, what?
You're still spending that, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, it's not like they're pricing their food where it's like,
it's different.
Oh, you're at a nice restaurant, so like a $200 meal to take a girl out is like $90.
It's the exact fucking same.
You want to come to a restaurant, here's your $200 check, and you're like, oh, this is 200 pounds.
Like, what?
Bro,
what are we talking about?
And the thing is, it's because we're converting our money, right? But they've already lived at this lifestyle. That's now like they make their money in pounds. So I guess now
it's imagine like just being, bro. I need to move to England for like a year to make some money
and then come back and flip it.
Double? Are you crazy?
Easy.
What?
Come back and flip it.
Oh my days, bro. It's crazy. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's disgusting. Anyway, tell us about the fucking dating life. What's that? What was that like?
Let's get into that.
What was that like? What was that?
Just man.
Let's talk to us.
So there's how many girls did I talked to since I was out there? I went on a date with one girl. We ended up meeting. I think I met like two girls on Hinge. Went on a date with one girl. Before I went out there, we were talking. She went MIA for like 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay. I ended up getting to LA. And she hits me up like, oh, sorry, like family stuff came up, blah, blah. Like, I still want to see you. Cool. We went to dinner. Everything was cool with dinner. The vibe was a little weird after. And then I messaged her after dinner. I was like, all right, hope you got home safe. Hope everything's cool. Haven't heard from her since. So I was like, cool. That was, you went at my ex because you're family. You messaged me to chill. We do chill. You go home. I hit you up like, yo, hope you got home safe. Then I don't hear from you again. I don't know what the hell happened to her, to be honest. Bro, it was weird. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then there's this other girl I met. We started talking, really dope conversation, like FaceTiming, all that. She was a lawyer. I was like, wow, this girl's dope. Like, you know, we connected, everything was cool. And then I go to Miami, and while I'm in Miami, she's like, oh, like, make sure you behave in Miami. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? Like, I hadn't even met her yet. It was more. We just been talking like a few days, like long FaceTime calls, like very intimate, flirty, whatever. Like, she's a really beautiful girl, lawyer, but like very like assertive, which is cool. I don't mind a strong woman. I love that. But then there's like this like crazy like jealous bug came out of nowhere. Like, when I was going to Miami, like, I got this gig in Miami. She's like, oh, make sure you behave. I'm like, behave? Like, what do you mean by that? Yeah. She's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be girls out there in Miami. Like, just make sure you behave. I'm like, wait, do you think we're dating?
Like, do you think we're dating?
No, like, I was so thrown off. I was like, oh, we've been talking for like a week.
Yeah.
Make sure I behave. Like, those are some serious talks. I was like, I mean, sure, I'm only like going for work. She's like, okay, cool. I go out there. She's like, oh, how's Miami? Checking in while I'm there. Talking to her a little bit. I get back to LA.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to meet up, but I had a bunch of stuff I had to do. So I didn't talk to her for a day, right? Like, one day.
Okay.
I just didn't message her, did nothing. And she didn't message me either. The next day, I'm fine. I messaged her on some like, yo, like, hey, like, what's going on? She's like, I'm good. I'm like, what? Like, I'm generally like, what's going on? She's like, I'm fine.
You just switched up.
What's good? I'm like, why are you acting like this? She's like, oh, I didn't hear from you all day yesterday. I'm like, it was a day. She's like, yeah, but you didn't have a second to message me. I'm like, I was busy all day. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, I thought we were just talking. I was just in Miami. What's the issue? She's like, it's all good, whatever. And I'm like, okay. Vibe went super weird. And I was like, okay, if you're mad about this, I'm like, we don't even have to do this. So like we shouldn't be fighting. Like, why are we fighting? We're not together. I didn't even met you. Like, why? What? I was like, this is crazy. And she's like, all right, whatever. Then I guess we're cool then. And I'm like, okay, killed that. This is all within 2 months. Yeah. Completely different person. Killed that relationship too. I was like, okay, strange.
You can't even met her.
Have you met her? This is just talking. And also full transparency, everyone that I met, I'm like, I'm not from LA. I'm in the middle of a move. Like, we can see each other. Like, I'm not from here yet. Like, I don't live here yet. And they're all like, yeah, no problem. But then they all got like weird. Anyways. And then me and another girl, she's actually pretty cool. I still talk to her. She's pretty cool. But even she had to get checked. We were seeing each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
Went on a couple dates. And then basically she just really caught feelings very, very fast.
Okay.
And I left from Miami and she's like, can I drive you to the airport? I was like, yeah, sure. That's cool. She drives me to the airport. She's like, why am I sad? I'm like, what? I'm like, we've been talking for like a week and a half. She's like, I don't know, but I'm just sad that you're going. I'm like, I'm only going for a few days. Like, it's all good. She's like, okay, well, can I pick you up when you're back? I'm like, sure. You can pick me up when I get back. No problem. She picks me up and I can tell that she's like leaning in for kisses all the time. I'm like, well, this is a little accelerated. Like we literally just started talking and now it's like, kisses you do with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, when you rekindle. You don't do that with a girl you just like, you hug, cool. It's like, now it's like leaning for a kiss every time I see her. I'm like, well, it's a little much. And then I could tell that it was getting a little further than I wanted it to go. So I basically said, you know what, just to make this clear and honest, like, I don't think we're going to end up in a relationship. And she's like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I just kind of know. Like, there's a vibe. I just know myself. And if you're not, I just kind of know. And I'm like, you know what? If you're not interested in pursuing things still, like knowing that's how I feel, like no problem. She's like, all right, whatever. Gets super mad, emotional. I was like, all right, cool. I let it go. And then she ends up calling me back and apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry I acted out. I was just this. I still want to be friends with you, whatever. I was like, cool. So her and I are still pretty cool. No real issues there. She's dope. But we went on a date, or an outing, I would say, but call it a date, whatever. We went on a date to a restaurant to Joey in LA. And the waitress was flirting with me right in front of her. Craziest thing I've ever experienced. I've never seen girls that brazen in my life. I'm sitting here, she's sitting across from me, and the waitress comes and she sees me. She doesn't even acknowledge, like, we're not together, obviously, but it's still a girl with me out, right? Yeah. You don't know she's not my girlfriend. You don't know that. Like, I'm with a female at a restaurant. You as a waitress, you don't know who this is. Like, you assume it's my girlfriend, I would say, like, naturally, right? She comes, she's like, hey, bypasses, don't even look at her. She's like, hey, is there anything I can get you? And I'm like, yeah. I glance at her. I'm like, yeah, I'll get a whiskey and ginger. And she's like, okay, cool. Anything for you? Like, kind of looked like as like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Anything for you? She's like, and I could tell that she was getting the vibe that like this bitch, like she doesn't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
Walking back and forth. She comes, bringing the food out. I'm eating the food. She comes and just checks on me. She's like, is the food okay? I'm like, yeah, it's good. Okay, great. Doesn't even ask the girl about her food. Walks away and the girl's like, wow, she really, I'm like, yeah, this is really happening. Like, she really isn't gonna fuck about you at all. No. So then I could tell she's getting jealous. And I'm like, you don't really have grounds to be jealous here. Because we weren't really gonna date or anything, but it was still kind of disrespectful, I'm not gonna lie. So that I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, you're not my girlfriend, but it is still kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
So that happened. Her and I are cool. And then the last situation, which is the most entertaining over them all.
Oh,
there was a girl I was talking to for a couple months, actually a month and a bit, and she was actually really dope, really dope girl. And when we met, she said that I always ask when I meet someone, I'm just like when was your last relationship? I don't ask like how was it? I don't care about all that. I just ask when was it to get a pulse on like how fresh you are right now. Like, you've been single for a while, or you just been single? You know? She's like, oh, we just broke up a couple months ago. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty fresh. And bro, it's one of those. I'm very honest. I'm very forward. It's one of those things that's like, you and I both know if you just broke up with someone a couple months ago, it's not done.
Yeah,
bro.
It's especially what'd she say? 2 months?
They just broke up 2 months ago, but they're dating for like a few years.
Okay, so that
it's not done.
Yeah, that means like they're still gonna be going through the typical breakup bullshit, which is gonna last at least another 3-4 months.
Bro,
we're not new to this.
So I genuinely knew it wasn't done, but she's like, no, like we don't talk. Like I don't fuck with him anymore. Blah blah. I was like, I think with a grain of salt, I was like, okay, no problem. Like I'm still gonna take my time with this. Everything was cool. We started talking for a little bit, sleeping together, all that. And then a week before I was supposed to come back here to Toronto, we went out for dinner, or went out for lunch, and we had lunch, and I was finishing editing the video. So I was like, when we finished lunch, she's like, oh, you want to come back to my place, or you have something to do? I was like, I'm just finishing a video real quick, but after I can come by. She's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
She's like, how long did it take you to edit the video? I was like, maybe like extra half an hour or so, and I just have to save it. And she's like, okay, I'll just wait for you here. And then instead of me driving back and forth downtown, I was like, all right, cool, you can wait downstairs. She waits in the car. I go up, I edit the video. Half an hour passes, I hit her up. I'm like, yo, I'm coming downstairs. She FaceTimes me. She's like, hey, hold on 1 second. I just went to the store real quick, to the pharmacy. To me, I'm like, you know what? She's been downstairs.
Normal, yeah.
It's normal. Like, yeah. I'll always give someone the benefit of the doubt until you give me a reason not to believe you.
Okay.
Like, why would I just assume that's a lie? Especially out of nowhere. Right. So to me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. You've been downstairs for half an hour. Probably had somewhere to go. Like, no problem. She hits me up after 10 minutes. She's like, hey, I'm back now. You come down. I come down, hop in the car, bring my computer in the back, put in the back seat. We're driving. Everything's cool. In my day, in my world, this is a normal day. I'm chilling. We just ate a regular day. I just ate. We've been chilling. I went to edit. Now I'm going back to a place. We're all cool.
Nothing's crazy.
Nothing is crazy in my reality.
Yeah.
In my reality. So now we're driving. The phone rings, and her phone was like in the middle of the car, right? Like in the middle, so I could see it. And it's a number that she doesn't have saved. It's not blocked. It's just a number that she doesn't have saved, right? So I look at the number. I'm like,
also typical because most women have like a million.
You just don't save, right?
Yeah.
I naturally assume it's a guy because I'm not dumb, and we're not together. So I'm like, it's all good. Like, you can answer it. So I go, I'm like, oh, like you can answer your phone. She's like, nah, I don't recognize that number. I was like, oh, I mean, okay, cool. Like, I'm like, no problem. Not my business, Immediately after that phone call ended, the person calls back again and rings again. So now I look at her, I'm like, yo, I made a little joke. I'm like, yo, someone's trying to get your attention. Like, you should probably get the phone. I know it's probably a guy at this point. Like, it's not your girl.
Answer that. Yeah.
It's not and the thing is, if you answered, I wouldn't trip. Like, I would have been like, yo, like, you're not my girlfriend. I'm not your man. Like, whoever.
Like we've already established.
Yeah, like
I've established with you at least
it's cool
times. It's okay.
It's cool. I'm saying answer it. Nah, I don't recognize that number. I don't know who it is. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm stay out of this. Cool, no problem. We get back to her place. We park in the back. As we're getting out of the car, the phone rings again. I just look at her and I'm like, yo, now I'm actually serious. I'm like, what if it's actually an emergency? Like if this now I don't know if it's a guy anymore. Now I'm just like,
this could be an emergency.
This could be any like they're trying to get your attention. They're trying to get to you. They're not just like, you know what I mean? She goes like quickly rebuttal. She's like, if it's important, leave a message. Like, I don't know who this is. I was like, whoa, you know what?
Gosh.
I'm gonna stay out of this. This is not my business anymore. This is your phone. I was just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I was even giving you the space to answer. I'm like, I don't care. You're pushing back. I was like, no problem. Now to give you the timing of this, we park up. We park up.
Okay.
I get my computer back from the back seat.
Yeah.
I walk into the house. the house, it's an apartment. It's like on a flat level apartment. Most apartments in the States have like a screen door and then like their wooden door.
Yeah.
So you can have your window open. You have your window open and your screen door closed. You can see outside, but the door itself is open, right? We walk in the screen door, walk in the front door. She has a table right in front of her door.
Okay.
We put it, I literally sit down at the table, at the desk.
Yeah.
Take my laptop out of my bag, put it on the desk, start saving the video, press the button. Video saving. She goes, oh, I just gotta take something out to the trash real quick. I was like, okay, cool. I'm chilling. I'm rolling in the chair, like relax, sitting down, the video's just chilling. She comes back after like maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and she's on FaceTime with her friend.
Yeah.
And I know the guy, so I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm with Ryan. I'm like, she's like, say what up. I was like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, say hi to him. He's like, oh, what's good? She's like, I'm gonna talk about that real quick. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, I'm easy, bro. I'm like, go, no worries. Talk to your boy. I know him. No issue. Okay. So at the same timing, she walks out on FaceTime with her boy, who I know, he's cool. Walks out. And he's also gay, so it's not like something I'm worried about. Like if it was like that. But even if he wasn't, all good. But he's gay, so I'm like, this is her literally good friend.
Yeah.
They go outside talking on FaceTime. I roll back to the chair. I'm like, chilling. Loading the video's just going. Literally a minute, 2 minutes after she walked out on FaceTime, her ex-man barges his way through the fucking screen door. And I'm like, I'm startled because I'm fucking sitting down, like unsuspecting all of this. He comes in, he's like, yo, what's good now? Hails me. I just naturally put my hand out like out of just reaction. I'm like, oh, hey, bro. Like, and I'm just so frazzled. I'm just like, wait, what? Where did he just?
But at that moment, you have no clue. Is he coming to hit?
Bro, I don't know if he's
coming to try.
He could swing. Like, it could be anything. Yeah. So I naturally, like, I didn't jump because like you can't. I couldn't give him that. If I jumped, I'm like, I don't want to make it feel like I'm scared of him. But I was more just like, I was just caught off guard because I'm like, he's bro, grown ass man, probably his 40s, 6'6", tank looking, Adonis looking nigga, like big muscular guy. And I've seen pictures of him, so I knew exactly who it was when he walked in. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, like. And he's like, what's good, bro? He hails me. I'm just like, oh yeah, well, what's good, man? He's like, no worries, you're good, bro, you're good. And I'm like, what's it going on? Super American. Yeah, like, you're good. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. She comes sprinting in, get the fuck out of my house, get out. And now I'm like, oh, this wasn't planned. Like, oh shit. So I'm literally just watching this soap opera unravel. I'm just sitting in the chair looking at him, and he's like, no, I'm good. I'm just coming for my heater. Not his gun, his fucking, like an actual personal fucking heater, which he left at the house. So clearly they still have some type of relationship going on. If he still has stuff at the house, like, you're clearly not done, as I expected from the beginning, which would have been cool, because had she said, you know what, bro? We broke up, but we're still kind of a little talking here and there. Like, it's just kind of closing that up. You know what I said? Some more, I'd have been like, you know what? No worries. We'll park this. We'll chill. Like, you get that sorted out. Whenever that's cleaned up, all good. We can start talking. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be like, I would have been like, oh, cool. That makes sense. You just broke up. I get that. Hey, I've been there. I've fucked Max before. That's super normal. Yeah, that's par for the course. But all the lies are like, no, I don't fuck with that guy. Like, but I was like, all right, cool, no problem. For him to barge in, hail me, come in screaming, and you come screaming after. She's like, oh my God, you're so crazy. You're crazy. And I'm looking back and forth. I'm just like, oh shit. Like, they're arguing. As they're arguing, I'm packing my bag, so I'm just like, yeah, this is my cue to get out of here.
This is my cue to get out of here.
Mid-argument, she turns to me, she's like, no, wait. I'm like, what? Wait? What the fuck? I'm like, I'm out of here. What do you mean, wait? Like, you're in mid-argument. Don't worry about me. So he goes, now he's cheesy. He's like, nah, I just find it crazy how, like, you have this nigga in your house right now, but we're still fucking though, right? And I'm just like, oh shit. Oh, she's like, this is news to me. I'm like, cause last time she told me, she's like, I don't see him, we don't talk. And I'm like, still fucking. I'm like, oh wow, cause we're fucking. I'm like, and again, not about the sex. Like, I'm single, she's single. You could sleep whoever you want to, but the lying was just so unnecessary, to the point that you have to put me in potential danger. Because what if this guy came in mad? I'm lucky he came in all cordial, like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, I'm just getting my stuff. What if he came in just wanted to bust my ass? Like, he probably would and could. Bro, I'm sitting in a chair, chilling. Some more. Bro,
probably would and could.
Some more. You're not understanding. This is a grown ass 40+ man, 6'6". I have no problem with my pride as a man to be like, yo, I am a lean 6'3", fucking 31-year-old man. I can fight, but if I'm sitting in a chair, minding my business, relaxed, and the nigga comes in and he's 6'6" and D's ready to kill me, I'm losing that. Like, the energy is not matched. You know when when someone wins in the fight just because they have more energy than the person.
Yeah.
Like, when someone's mad and you're not that mad, like,
yeah, you can't win.
Their energy is just too much.
There's nothing you can do.
And he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, luckily it went in a way where he was like, no, you're good, bro. You're one. I'm just getting my stuff. But if it was another different direction, different energy, he comes and sees me. He's like, what the fuck is this? And it becomes a thing. Bro, I'm in the house seated. Like, that's a dangerous situation for me. You know?
You didn't need to be in that situation.
I didn't need to be in that situation. So, like, it wasn't about the sex. Like, you could have been like, we ended up having sex still. Like, I'd be, you know what? Cool. I'm going to pull out. Like, no pun intended. But I'm like, I would have just been like, you know what? I'm going to pull out from this situation. Sort that out. And you know what? After that's clean, we're good. Like, there'd be no love lost. I would have been like, you know what? No worries. Just like sort that out. I don't want to be part of no mess. But the line to support that he had to barge in and potentially take chances with my life of how that would have turned out. That's where it got to. Like,
because that's wild. Like, imagine you, like, because he didn't even know
I was there.
He didn't.
Well, actually, he didn't know I was there because
he probably.
Go on. End of the story or some context. I packed my bag and I'm like, I'm gonna go. She said, no, wait. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go. You guys do your thing. You guys are in the middle of an argument. I'm not doing this. I pack my bag. I call Uber. I walk outside. He ends up packing his stuff. He leaves. She runs after me. She's like, wait, please, can we talk? I'm like, about what? What are you talking about?
What do we need to talk
She's
about?
like, can we just go back inside and talk? I'm like, we're not gonna go back inside and act like this just happened. There's no way I'm walking back in the house.
There, right?
No, he's gone now.
Okay.
But she's like, can we just go inside and talk? Because I was outside walking to the Uber or walking to where the Uber would be. And she's like, can we just go inside and just talk? I'll explain everything. I'm like, there's no way I'm going inside to act like this didn't just transpire. Like, we're not gonna pretend and just have a little convo. Like, no, I'm good. Process whatever just happened. Call you have to call. Like, if you're panicked right now, I know you weren't expecting all this. It's probably a lot for you too. Your whole life just blew up right now. Like, all your lives just blew up on the table. Yeah. I'm sure it's a lot for you. You process that. I'm gonna go. Take your time, you know? So, okay, fine. Can I explain right now? I'm like, cool. I look at my clock. I look at the Uber. I'm like, you have 5 minutes. Go ahead. Okay. Do you want the truth? I'm like, what? I'm like, what the? How is that even a question?
Do you want the truth?
What do you mean? I'm like,
yo,
please.
This girl sounds like she had a nigga in her body, bro. Like,
that's how niggas act.
For someone, yo, imagine your girl coming to you knowing you did some shit. Like, not even like speculating.
Yeah.
You witnessed the shit like take place.
Yeah.
And they say to you, do you want the truth? Or what? Like, what else?
It's one of those like, huh?
Of course I want the truth.
What are you talking about? So I go, please? Yeah. Okay, fine. We did end up running into each other at the club last week, and yeah, I did fuck him. But it was only once. And I was like, all right. First of all, it's one of those situations when someone's a liar and they start telling the truth, they tell a little bit of the truth.
It's a piece of the truth.
Exactly.
And listen, we know this because we've done this in the past.
Bro,
like,
come on. It wasn't once. Let's be honest. Some more. It wasn't once. It wasn't once. Come on, some more. Was it once?
No. It was not once.
You bump into him at the club and that was a one time? Since we've been talking, that was the one time. You just had a weak moment.
Listen, I said it before and I'll say it again. God. Do we have dickhead written on our foreheads?
Bro.
That's how I feel when people come to me with dumb shit like this. It's like, this look like I have dickhead written on my forehead.
I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know that guy from shit.
Yeah.
But that nigga's telling the truth. Like, bro, he has nothing to lose some more. What is the point? What is the, like, it's one of the situations. What is the point?
Because he knows like one of two things are going to happen from this. He knows that by him busting in there to grab his shit, knowing you were there, knowing that she was going to react the way that she was, he knows that, like, one, chances are it's going to fuck up whatever you two had, right? Fortunately for you, you're like, I don't really give a shit.
Right.
I never really did.
Sure.
Two, he knows that by doing this is going to force this girl to go back to him.
Yes.
And now he has
by default.
And now he has control over the situation.
Yes.
Right? And the third option is, like, nothing happens for her. It's a big loss on her.
She loses both, let's say.
She loses both of you. But, like, he really has nothing to lose. Nothing at all.
That's your ex-girlfriend. It's your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah. There's nothing to lose.
It's one of those things that's like, bro, we've been there. We have relationships.
Yeah.
You know your ex-girlfriend better than anybody, bro.
Especially
better than anybody.
Especially for those, like, short months after the breakup. You know, if there's anyone, unless something terrible happened,
right,
there's a chance you two could always get back together. You know, like, there's a chance. There's a chance.
You know what to say.
Whether people want to admit it or not.
Yep.
She knows what to say. You know what to say. You guys know each other the best. There's always that chance. And it's always there.
And the thing is, for it to be like only happened once, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no man. I don't care how much in love you are. There's no man. I don't know this guy from shit. Like I said, he is not
such a. Sorry, that's such a. I need the bathroom so bad. We'll take a break. That's one of the funniest fucking sayings in the world to me.
Why?
I don't know this man from shit.
It just means you can't tell the difference.
No, but literally, it's so funny. But go on.
Like, I can't tell the difference between him and shit, to be honest. Like,
go on.
But it's one of those things, like, the type of energy and anger he had, that wasn't one fuck, Zamor. That wasn't one fuck.
Dude.
That wasn't a, you know what? We had a one fuck rekindle, and now I'm so mad coming from myself. No. No.
Like, it probably happened like...
That means you've been fucking, you found out she's also fucking me, and now you're actually mad because you're like, yo, we've been doing this. Like, what's the issue?
But you know what? Like, as wild as that situation is, I do have to say, I rate him for being mature enough to not be mad at you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when you're younger in these situations, you'll get...
Man's want to fight. Man's want to fight,
blah, blah, blah. He was just like, whatever about it. But, like, it really could have gone two ways. Like you said, you didn't know if when he busted in there, if he was approaching, like, on some shit like, oh, I'm swinging at you, or this is just that. So
right.
On the flip side, he didn't really know whether or not you would have been, like, imagine.
What if I was trying to fight?
Yeah. What if you pulled out a knife for like
the whole situation was unknown.
It could have gone so badly, bro. It could have gone so badly.
And that was the main reason I had to end that situation, because I'm like, it's not about the sex. Like, I even told her, I'm like, yo, like, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely said to her, I'm like, yo, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
But I just can't fuck with liars.
Just don't put
me, but liars, they can do anything. They're capable of anything.
Yeah.
People who lie like that can look you in the face and be like, oh, I wasn't there. And you're like, but I just saw you.
I saw you there.
No, that's not me. Like, that's a different, like, those people are capable of anything, bro. It's like, and she admitted that, yeah, we slept together, blah. Then I'm like, is there anything else? I'm like, my Uber's almost here. Okay, he might have saw us at lunch today. I was like, what? I'm like, you didn't think you were going to tell me that? She's like, well, I didn't think it was important. I'm like, you didn't think it was important that your ex saw us at lunch? She's like, well, yeah, he saw us at lunch, and then he basically waited, and he said he was going to wait for you because he wanted to talk to you, and I didn't want him to see you, so I ended up driving around the block. I'm like, wait, so when you told me you're going to the pharmacy, you're driving around the block to avoid this guy? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go. I've had enough.
I need out of here.
So I made sure, like, again, this is not about the sex. Like, it's about principle.
Yeah.
You know, if you admitted from off rip, like, yeah, I'm still kind of seeing this guy, I would have been like, cool, I have a choice to make. I'm like, do I still want to talk to a girl who's kind of in and out with her ex? Not really. Probably. That would be mad. I'd be like, I get that. 2 months in, yo, I'd been there. Like, I could pull my ex-girlfriend back after 2 months. Like, I get that. But just tell the truth. Like, we're so old, man. We're so grown at this point. But to dance around the lie to the point that you almost risk me getting my ass bust.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
You're right. It's such a principle thing, and I think as we get older, those things like take such a big precedence in your life. You know, and sometimes like I think I've talked about this with my girl too. Like I think
I just threw in my girl real quick.
Oh wow, I didn't even take that.
Ooh, is that where we're at?
We'll talk about that after. I think the thing is,
quick intermission before he just slid that in there like it was nothing. I'm like,
real life now.
I've been gone for a while, guys. Things happen. Shit moves quick.
But the point is, like, I've had conversations about it. Like sometimes I think the principles that I kind of hold.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wonder if they kind of hold me back sometimes, right? But because I used to think that the principles that I have, I expected other people to have.
Right.
But the reality is, that's not the case. So you just have to
you can't project your own expectations on somebody else.
Exactly. You just have to,
or get mad. It's just like, you know what? You're not like that. No worries.
You just have to let people know.
Yep.
These are my.
It just doesn't align with me.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, these are my principles, right?
Yes.
And if you don't align with them, that's okay,
bro. And
actually,
okay. I think that
I can make the decision if I want to work with it or not work with it.
And I think that makes it even more difficult for people when it's not angry energy.
Yeah.
Because now that it really holds them accountable, because you're like, yo, look, I was genuinely like, yo, listen, I'm not mad. It's just not something I want. You know, cool, no worries. You could go back to it. Cool. No love lost. I'm not mad, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
it's just something I don't want.
Yeah,
but hey, you didn't do anything wrong. You did not do anything wrong. I mean, the lying was kind of weird, but sleeping with him wasn't wrong.
Yeah,
you're single, cool, but the lying is kind of weird, and the lying is also something I just don't fuck with. So now I don't fuck with you.
Yeah,
but not because of sex.
And honestly, you know what I mean? Bro, when you have conversations with people, like what you just said. If you're in that same realm, it's such an easy conversation to have.
100%.
Because, bro, so those first few months when I moved in here and I was just kind of out here, right? Talking to different girls, this one girl I was seeing, she, it was kind of, the situation was kind of odd. I think she thought it was more than it actually was.
Okay.
But I remember her sending me a text just being like, yeah, so I'm just kind of looking for something or someone with a little bit more consistency and all this type of stuff. And
that's what she wanted.
Yeah. And I just don't think it's going to work out. Right. And I remember looking at the text message and I thought to myself, I was like, well, I'm quite sure I explained to you that I'm wasn't looking for a relationship, so already that I was not the guy.
So this is kind of
for you to be sending me this message is kind of redundant. That's how I felt.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Kind of weird. Right. And I remember just being like, okay. I was like, I get it. That's literally my response.
Yeah.
But I think because
it was so nonchalant.
I think because her energy was this also really calm, just explaining her situation.
Right.
And I responded with the same energy.
Yeah.
I was truly fine with it, but I really felt like she was expecting kind of
some pushback.
Yeah, I think she was expecting more of a pushback.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? And I was like, no, okay, I get it. That's cool.
Because you're aware of it. You're like, yeah, you're probably right.
Not only was I aware of it, I let you know too.
Yeah, so
weird.
Why are we here?
But I felt good getting that message though, because I was like, okay, sick.
That clears things up.
I was like, we don't have to play this weird game kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's just strange when people don't know how to
communicate.
It's especially when you get older, bro. It makes no sense. If I would understand that situation you just explained, it would still be wild if it happened years ago, but it would make more sense because you're younger. You don't know.
You're messier. You're scared. You're scared to have certain conversations because you're like, what are they gonna say? How are they gonna act?
At this age, bro. At this age, you should just be able to have I consider some of these conversations basic now.
Yes.
Because they are, bro. One of my friends basically dealing with someone and I'm not gonna put anyone on blast here, but they're dealing with someone, they were asking very straightforward question, especially at our age, bro. Very straightforward question. Hey, Are you seeing anyone else? Are you sleeping with anyone else? We're not exclusive.
Is the guy or the girl asking?
This is a girl asking.
The girl asked.
She's like, yeah, we're not exclusive. I'm not looking for a relationship. But if we're going to be like engaging together, I just need to know if you're sleeping with other people.
So I'm aware.
Very sensible and logical.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Does it not?
Yes. Lied.
Should you not be actually asking such questions? You should be asking these questions, right?
Lied.
Not the man didn't just lie. This guy like basically like danced around this question forever. Like he just couldn't answer it.
What do you mean couldn't?
He just wouldn't. He just wouldn't.
I can't answer this. It's like what?
He just wouldn't.
Okay.
Like, and she's spiraling.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
It's a direct question.
Direct question, because you know how this is personally. Like, as much as I got at my friend for this, like she was very real about, and this is where I align with her, right? Like the thing is this: when you find someone that you vibe with sexually, what's one thing you don't want to do, Ryan? What's the one thing you don't want to do when you vibe with someone sexually?
Fuck it up or lose it?
Thank you. Thank you.
Like what?
Thank you.
Like,
Right?
why?
You don't want.
Why?
You don't want to fuck that up.
Why?
You don't want to fuck that. Even if you know that this isn't going to go anywhere, like relationship wise.
Yeah.
As long as you're both communicating, you know where you're at, you're being respectful, you don't want to fuck it up.
Of course.
Right? So when my friend explained that to me, I understood. That's a very real and mature answer.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck it up. So it's like, let me just ask this question so I know for my own sake and I can make my decisions after that. Yep. Right? But for whatever reason, this dude just was not answering the questions. So it's like, okay, bro, like you're not young anymore. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. Eventually she gets her answer. She's able to make her decision. Done, right? But it's just that little thing is like such a microcosm of like what relationships and dating is like nowadays. Yeah. Because you're like, you'll be more likely to entertain, go on dates, meet people, sleep with people who can have these conversations with you so easily. Sometimes,
of course,
the conversations might be difficult. Like you might, differ on certain parts, but you're able.
It's still
to
happening.
It's happening.
Yes,
the wheels are turning.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to be with someone who might not be like, I don't know, conventionally the most attractive. Sure. Whatever you to you. But versus someone who's like bad,
but can't communicate shit.
Just can't communicate shit. Like, bro, I promise you, I could not fuck with a girl right now who, is super pretty, like all these things. But when I communicate with her, I feel like the moment I feel like it's pulling teeth, I'm out. It's so quick.
It should not be difficult.
And it might be bad. Like that might be bad.
This is that's your standard. Fuck that.
That's my standard now. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. If it feels like I'm pulling teeth with you, I will be out of there so quick.
I hate probing. I hate having to probe.
Like, why are we doing?
Like, I hate having to ask you something, and then you answer, and it's like a partial answer. So I'm like, okay,
and
I hate having to do that. God. And you give it a little bit more. I'm like, can you just thoroughly answer, please? So I don't have to keep asking more follow-up questions. So it seems like I'm fucking bugging you.
Yeah,
I don't need to fucking have this conversation.
I don't want to feel like I'm bugging you too,
and I don't have to have this.
Oh, God,
we actually don't have to have this conversation.
We don't need to at all. But you're making me. That's the problem.
You're making it seem like I really want to have this conversation. So like, it comes off as like the more you ask questions, you're just trying to get a full answer. But the more you ask questions, make it seem like you really want to have this conversation so bad. Like,
it's like, no, bro. I just give me the fucking answer. I can keep it moving.
I'm done with it.
But when you don't ask, like, because this is a problem. Like, the mind is a dangerous thing, bro. If it's left to its own devices, if you don't have the right information,
you'll fill in the blanks
times
how you want to.
Your mind is gonna start racing.
Yep.
And you can't control that, right? To a certain extent.
Yep.
So it's like, if I'm fucking with a girl and I ask her certain questions and she's just giving me these shaky answers, I promise you, my mind is gonna start jumping to conclusions that may or may not be healthy.
Right.
Right. And that's not like, I understand, like some of it you can just say, maybe they're not. Maybe they're just doing it. But now I'm making too many excuses for you. You could just simply answer the question.
100%.
Just answer the question. If you're young, Like that's another reason why I can't date someone. I can't do it anymore. No. I won't. I'm not an idiot, bro. I've learned. I'm not doing it anymore. You crazy?
No.
You crazy? Like, why am I asking you questions? And I feel like I'm not. If I ask you a question, bro, and I don't get an answer to the question I asked. If I ask you a question on Monday and I get the answer on a Friday,
no,
I am out, bro.
Who takes that long?
Who takes that long? Like, you haven't experienced this, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Especially when we're younger. But I'm just saying, this age. If I ask you a question on Monday and I don't get an answer latest by Tuesday morning, I'm already like so close.
I'm over it.
So close to being over.
Yeah, I promise you. It's so true. You see, you have to go pee?
Nah, it's gone now.
It's gone.
It's gone now. It's when I was laughing really hard.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna piss myself.
Yeah. So I've been gone for 2.5 months. Prior to me leaving, we had a conversation about.
I know what this guy's gonna bring up. I know what this guy's gonna bring up. Go on. Prior to me departing
Canada soil,
Canadian soil, land of the free.
Zamora and I had a very intimate conversation. It was
off camera.
It was off camera in May. I left Toronto May 21st to be exact.
Holy smokes, May!
Fucking May, bro. We're in August. Sounds crazy even saying it out loud. I left Toronto May 21st. In May, so like I guess like a week before that conversation, or maybe the week of. We've both been single for a bit. I broke up with my last ex-girlfriend last September, I guess. So September 2020. So almost a full year now coming up. Zamora was in November of last year. And we're both just like, yo, like, I love being single. He loves being single. I love being single. I love it. It's cool. You get to do what you want. You travel, blah, 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 blah. You fuck girls. Yeah. But I do like a girlfriend when it feels right. I do like a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them. I'm not like, oh, I hate being. I only like when I only dislike relationships when it becomes toxic, when it becomes uncomfortable, when the person changes or whatever. But when it feels good and I'm enjoying myself, I love being in a relationship. You know, you have someone you can fuck whenever you want to. You can go out with someone you like. It's you have someone there to share things with. Like that was my biggest thing, my biggest point when I was saying why I like relationships. Like I'm like I don't share a lot of stuff with people. My boys, my cousin, and then the blank girlfriend is all that really knows what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I barely even talk to my parents about the stuff I do, to be honest.
Yeah.
So like, I genuinely like having a girl to be like, yo, this is what I'm up to. What are you up to? And like being interested in what they do. Like I like that exchange of conversation, especially when it's daily. Like always new stuff I'm doing, all new stuff they're doing. Like that stimulates growth of convo. It stimulates your relationship, allows you guys to bond. Like I like that, you know? I would love to have kids at some point soon. So like, by no means am I anti-relationship. So both of us, I think both of us were at the point when we had the conversation in May where we're like, you know what? If it happens, great. If it doesn't, you know, we're cool being single, but like we do and are open to being in a relationship if it makes sense. We both said that. And we both also said or asked each other, like, how long do you think will last? Like we're coming to a very hot summer. You know, COVID is kind of lifting. We're seeing more people. We're making our short list of people now. We're like, you know, I was seeing a couple people, Zamora was seeing a few people. And we're like, how long do you think we're going to make it? And I was like, I'm not sure if you said or if I said, but we said August.
Yeah.
And we're like, August. I was like, whoa, like.
That was what?
Back then, that would have been 4 months or three months from then. And we're like, yo, that's 3 months from August? Like, you think we can make it? Like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. And I'm currently still single. It's August the 4th. But Zamora is not. Congratulations, Zamora, on not making it to August. But tell me about that. You don't have to say her name. Yeah, it's all good. Keep that private if you want to. But where you at right now? You're off the market again. I like it. We're grown.
Yes.
Why? How'd you get off? What made you do it? What made you? Yes, I will accept this relationship again. It's gonna take me a very like I know myself right now. It's gonna take me a lot to be like, yes, I will let you be my girlfriend. Yes, I will choose to be your boyfriend. That's gonna take me. I know right now where I'm at right now, the situation I'm at, mid travel, new life. Like for me to be like, Yes. Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, I feel so.
How did you do it? Or what made you do,
okay,
sure, go ahead.
So here's the thing. I think I was talking to my homegirl, like basically she's my sister, like Amanda, the other day, and you know, every woman that I've been in a relationship with prior to now, I've never been friends with them before I was dating them.
It was just always romantic first.
Yeah. Like literally every relationship I was in, I was never friends with these girls.
I like you, you like me, let's do this thing.
So like with this situation, it was very different. Like I was like just kind of like not even like really acquaintances. We just saw each other in passing. Then we became like friends, and it was like very gradual. Let's just say like there was like nothing physical happened until maybe like 7 or 8 months into actually knowing each other, and building up to that point. So prior to that, it was a lot of like really getting to know each other. And then even when there was like a physical interaction, there was no sex. Right? Sex didn't happen. So then from that moment to like when sex actually did happen, there was like still a lot of like learning about each other in between then. You know, just understanding where each of us were at in life. You know, figuring out like how to actually navigate what it means to
like fit
and be partners with each other. Because the hardest thing was, we're actually like really good friends first. And that was actually like truly a non-negotiable for us to break, right? And you know, sometimes it's still kind of scary to think about that, because this particular person, like, I feel like there's people in my life that I know for a fact, if and when I have kids in the future, you know, there's people in my life I know that have to meet my kids, right? Like you're one of them, Chris is one of them. Like there's people in my life that are like that, right? Prior to like me and this girl getting together, she was like one of those people. I was like, and this was before I even knew, like,
she was like one of your top friends, you're saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what it was like. So, okay. And I think maybe at this age, us being like having that great platonic friendship first, I think it made it actually, it was like you had moments where you're like kind of scared, but it made it a little bit easier to jump into that relationship when the time was right and it felt right. Versus being younger. Because when I was younger, I don't think I would have been able to start dating someone I was friends with, because I would have been too scared about breaking that friendship.
Right. You'd be worried about that.
I'd be too worried about it. But now it's like,
it's not a bad thing.
Why are you actually denying yourself of something that you know is good? Like, you know deep down, this is good.
Right.
And like you both know you're at a place in life where you're not going to get what we're getting from each other from other people. I mean, to be honest, like there's always a chance. There's always going to be more than one person out there for you in this life, right? It's just a matter of you deciding how you're going to go about choosing your partner every single day. Right. So it's like really important for me. So I think like, I don't know. I just feel like this relationship has been, obviously it's been very short, still just like, you know, in the beginning stages, like figuring shit out. But because we've had like that long friendship stage, it just feels infinitely more mature, you know, like, and we've talked about like,
what would you say is the biggest
difference?
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest difference with this versus like all your other ex-girlfriends? Like you can be like, definitely right here, circle X through it, question mark, like this right here.
I would say it's, for me, it's how we show up for each other.
Like support wise?
Yeah, because I'm trying to like figure out how I would say it exactly, but it's basically this. When shit is not going well with either one of us, like let's say something
like in life?
Yeah, like let's say something's come up like family.
But not between you guys.
Not between us.
Just in personally.
Yeah, we haven't had like shit between us.
Okay.
We probably will at some point.
Sure, normal.
Yeah. But like
individual lives.
problems, family shit, like social shit, any of those things, you know, mental health stuff, whatever. I genuinely feel like when this person is checking in on me or I'm checking in on them, it's not coming from a romantic place. It's like literally coming from like more that like platonic friendship place.
Like you're caring about your well-being.
Yeah, like I
not because I love you, but because
like I genuinely feel like this person would, the way that they check in or the way they show up is the exact same way they would do it if we were just still friends, which I like. That speaks a lot because, and the reason that's so important to me now at this stage in life is because people will do anything for you when you're in love, right? But the moment you're out of love, all that goes away.
And where to go?
You know what I mean?
It's like now, now you don't care?
It's fact.
All of a sudden. No, it's true. No.
And it's so true. And it's like, you know, I'll be totally blunt, you know. The other day, it's like it was kind of like a weird circumstance, but the other day I'm pretty sure I walked by my ex. Right? Like we both walked by each other.
On the street?
Yeah. And I noticed at like the last moment.
Like an ex or your recent ex?
Recent ex.
Okay.
I noticed at the very last moment. And it wasn't until I had already passed my ex, so I was like, "Oh fuck! I think I just walked by my ex," because I was in my own world.
But you saw like you in your peripheral.
I know her enough.
Like her body. Yeah.
To be like, "Oh fuck! I think I'm just my ex," right? And maybe she was in her own world too, but
or maybe she saw you not.
She saw you right, but like just think of it this way: like that little interaction like speaks to, I think, everything that's wrong with relationships. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like
why are you not fucking me at all?
Both of us, you know,
like period. We're like,
and I think that's
you spent so much time, so many hours together, days. I mean? And
it's like, look, like
experiences. Now we're strangers.
Despite any of the shit that happened in the relationship, things I did, I'm better, or she did,
right?
Like these are people that you spend years of your life with, right? Like
moments, memories.
In the past decade, I spent nearly more than a quarter of my decade with this person,
right?
So for you to like walk, and this speaks to anyone, for you to walk by like a partner of your, an ex-partner of yours, and you don't really have like a normal interaction, it's fucking strange. Like, it really is. Like as I get older, like I'm like, that's really weird. When you're younger, it's like normalized that you see an ex and you just don't talk. Like, I understand.
But now you're grown.
I understand if there's like toxic shit or like really bad negative things that have happened, but it's like, bro, like it's not normal. That's just not normal, and it's not okay. Like you should be able to like just be at least cordial with these people, right? So with my current partner, I'm already seeing the difference from the jump where it's like, okay, I know that when you have my back or I have your back, it's not because you just like you love me romantically.
Right.
It's because like you love me from a place of like a platonic friendship that's really, really strong. The same way that I would show up for like you or Chris or Amanda or Lauren. It's like the same way I would show up for this person. And it's the same way they would show up for me and all their friends, right? They're very tight with. And that's really important to me, you know, like, and I just see the difference in our conversations, the way we're able to just actually like, it's not necessarily like any disagreements, but it's the way that we're actually able to talk through shit that's really come up.
Like just communicate out loud kind of thing?
Like it's a lot of communication, you know, and it's like, you know, this person hasn't necessarily had, to my knowledge, like a specific type of relationship like this. And a lot of it's because I'm myself learning just how to give people their space. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to, in my last two relationships, I was like with my partner all the time. Right? Now I'm not. I live on my own. She lives on her own. And it's like, I'm learning like how to be okay with that. Right? Like that's new for me. I've never had to do that. So I'm like, okay, like this is new for me. I'm learning too. But in the process,
are you enjoying it though?
I am. Like it's at times it's
an adjustment.
Yeah. At times it's kind of hard only because
where you're used to.
Yeah. It's not what I'm used to. And sometimes I'm like learning to not let my mind like do like weird things where it's like, okay, I'm not with you. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Like you just don't know what she's up to because you can't.
But it's the same thing for her. She has no clue what I'm up to.
Right.
But at the same time, like I'm learning what it means to like just really give someone their space, and I'm seeing how receptive they are to that. So it's like, okay, like I'm actually,
This is a more healthy method.
yeah, it's like way more healthy. It's like I'm doing something that I'm not used to, but it's working, and like you're doing the same thing and it's working. So it's like, okay, like this is turning out like really nicely so far. It's mad early, so it's like that weird, I don't want to call it the honeymoon stage because like we've just been friends for so long that it's like,
I mean, you still get the honeymoon stage of like,
yeah,
now we can really be like, you're my man, I'm your girl. Like they're still gonna cut like,
but it's because it's still,
you're not strangers.
Yeah, I get it though. Like it's still technically the honeymoon stage, but it's also, for me, it's like, I just know, I just never felt very confident in a relationship like this. You know what I mean? Especially at this age now, like things are moving different. She's older. So it's like, okay, like we're just approaching.
How much older than you?
No, sorry. She's older than.
Oh, than previous.
Yeah, previous.
Gotcha.
So we're just approaching things in a much more mature way, to be honest with you. Like we don't need to be on top of each other all the time. She does her shit, I do my shit. I think another big
But
thing,
you do enjoy it, being on top of each other. I had to. I know you enjoy it.
Anyway.
I know you enjoy it miraculously.
Anyway,
hey man.
on top of that, I think the other big thing too is, I think you had asked a question we talked about before, like, does what your partner do for a living like need to matter to you, or like something like that?
Do you have to be interested in what your partner does for a living?
So here's what I've discovered.
Okay.
Right? Like,
you're not interested in what she does?
No. That's not true. I'm very interested in what she does.
Oh, okay.
Super interested, actually. I don't think I need to be interested in what my partner does. It would definitely be a bonus. But I do think, actually, no, I'm bullshitting. I definitely need to be interested in what my partner does.
Okay.
Because every partner I've been with, I've been interested in all the things they do.
Okay.
So like that's a given. I need to be interested in what they do.
Sure. But
more importantly, I have discovered that I need to be inspired by my partner.
That's literally the only thing that matters to me.
I need to be inspired. And like I did not know
the difference.
Bro, I didn't know the difference. I'm 29. I turn 30 next year. I had no clue. In the world what it meant to actually be inspired by your girl, partner, bro.
Yep.
Like, because look, I'm sure there's some things that I do that she, is inspired by or like thinks is dope.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally not a thing that this girl does that I don't think is dope. I mean, or I don't think I'm inspired by.
I mean, that means you're lined up.
Yeah, and what it does,
it might not all be dope, to be honest, but to you it is.
To me, it is.
That's all that matters. That's what I'm saying.
And then what it ends up doing is it makes me go, okay, I gotta get on my shit. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It doesn't come from a
no envious or nothing.
None of that. No. There's none of that.
No. It's genuine inspiration. It's genuine inspiration.
Like sick. Like,
I literally had a conversation. I was on a podcast a couple of days ago from these guys that asked me to come on, and I said the exact same thing, because I mean I think I've said on our podcast before. I'm like, I've never been inspired by my partner. It's always been me that's like, Ryan does this, Ryan does that, and I tolerate what they do and I support it, obviously, as a boyfriend should, but I've never been like, yo, that's so sick. Like I've never been what they are to me, to them. Yeah. And I think that's been the biggest gap for me that's preventing me from lasting with certain people, because I'm like, I always get to the point where I'm like, this will eventually fizzle out, because the inspiration is what's going to keep me. Yeah. And if it's not there, I will end up finding other things that make me not want to be here. And that's literally what happens. Yeah. But they asked a question about salary and money and stuff like that. And they're like, could you date, or could you be with someone who made significantly much more money than you? Yeah. And I was like, 100%.
1,000%. Yeah.
And like, and my example was, I'm like, if I somehow bagged a millionaire, like she's a millionaire, busting her ass, making her own fucking money. She is a millionaire, and I'm making you know, 6 figures, 100,000 or whatever. My money is nothing to her. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if she falls in love with me and I fall in love with her and she's a millionaire, I will make my million in 2 years. Maybe not even that long.
Yeah.
And it'll be because of her.
Yeah.
Not be because I'm envying her money, because I feel inadequate, but because I will be dating a millionaire and I'll be like, yo, I need to get like that.
Yeah.
Not because she's better than me, but because I'm like, I want to be with you. Like, I want to match you. It's like, there'll be a level of like fire under me, inspiration, also competitiveness. Like, not because I want to beat her, but like, just to be like, yo, like, okay, shit. Okay, cool. Yeah. And I'll probably get to my million much faster because I met her than if I did by myself. Yeah. Because I'm looking at her
doing it. Like, I think,
you know what I mean?
There's like an element.
And that actually turns me on. I'd be like, yo.
And see, and this is the thing, right? Like, cause you almost
man's that get insecure about that is crazy.
You almost have to like not tread lightly, but when you discuss it without it coming across like it's an insecurity thing.
No.
Because I promise you, you said it, like you would get to that like number quicker
because of you,
because of her.
Yes.
And the reason why is because, and this might like play into like the whole patriarchy thing, but if I'm being honest, like if I'm like with you and I'm really inspired by you, whether I'm like higher than you financially or socially, whatever it is, or vice versa, there's a part of my brain, and I think it might be like the male ego thing, but there's a part of my brain that goes like, I see what you do and I'm fucking inspired by it. I need to get up because I know it's like what you deserve to be with you. Is it like, I
know exactly what you mean, because
it's like, I know that if you're doing this and I'm inspired by it, I can't, my brain goes, I can't be with you unless I like follow your lead.
Even though you haven't said that to me. Yeah. And you don't have to say that to me. And you can be like, I don't care about your money, babe, but you can say all that.
They actually will genuinely.
And they probably would be like, I really, like, babe, we're good. It's, I know exactly what you're saying. It's also a level of like admiration.
No, that's what it is. Like,
do you know what I mean?
I have to do this because I feel like it's what you deserve.
Yeah. Even though you're not asking for it.
I'm great. Like, I'm great right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm great right now. But because I'm with you and I see what you're doing, you're not asking me for this.
No.
But it's like,
I want to give it to you though.
I know that this is what you like. I can't be with you just like this. And you like this. But this isn't enough.
I can be and will be more for you.
There you go. Yeah.
And like, it's not even about the like, because you make so much more than me, I want to. No, it's you have built something for yourself and you got yourself to a level that I'm not at yet, at least financially, let's say, if we're talking financial specifically, you got yourself to a level financially that I'm not at or haven't even seen before. And you're doing that consistently. And babe, I'm proud of you. That's amazing. Yeah. I also want to get there for myself, of course. Yeah. But also because I'm like, whether you want to admit it or not, I am thinking about your reality and your conversations. Yeah. Yeah. It's nobody's business how much your husband makes, your wife makes, whatever.
Or like just what they do.
Or what they do. Yeah. It's nobody's business. But we're human. I know you're going to be in certain rooms. You're a millionaire, babe. You're a millionaire. Yeah. I know you're going to be in certain rooms. You probably have millionaire girlfriends with you around you. Like, I just never want to make you feel uncomfortable, even if it's not a big deal. I would love, because let's just say, like, we'll never know all these conversations women have, but let's just say your friend finds out how much I make, and it's only like 40,000. I mean, it'll never be that wild, but like, call it wild. Let's say you fall in love with a guy who makes 40,000, you're a millionaire. It's just love, cool, whatever. But let's just say when your friends find that out, you don't care. Yeah, you're like, I'm in love with him. I don't give a fuck. But I know that dynamic in human behavior will be uncomfortable eventually. Yeah. Like, you're going to have to keep answering and keep defending me and keep whatever, because you will as an amazing woman. But I just don't want you to have to do that.
You don't have to. You shouldn't have to. Yeah.
I know you will, but I just don't want you to have to do that. Yeah. And I think it's more of just like, I just want it to be as easy for you being with me as possible.
Yeah. And like it's really strange, man, because like I said, like just talking about it can come across like this And we're doing our best to explain that it's not
of course
a weird ego thing.
Like I need to be better than you. No,
it's like actually that doesn't even cross my mind. Like, I need to be. It's more like I just want to do better for you.
Yes.
That's all it is. And it's just crazy how like certain people that you come across in life, like it could be your partner, like man, woman, whatever. It's like it's just crazy, like what the opposite person can do to you, you know, like how in our case,
in our
case, because we're both like straight males, it's like it's crazy how like the right woman can literally like
turn into a beast.
Yeah, like straight up, it can. Yeah. She can just come into your life, and then your mind goes, okay, this is what I'm going. Like my mind's going boom, 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 boom,
and it's clear.
This is what I'm going to do, and it's literally clear. Because this woman came into your life, had a couple conversations with you, and you're like, oh, okay,
this is what I need to do.
I feel like I just took the limitless pill, and it's like, all right, like, I
and
see it now.
You're behind me every step of the way.
What,
bro? I'm untouchable.
I have no reason to not like make sure I step up because of you.
Every day you're like, right? Keep going, babe. What? You have your cheerleader, you have your sex partner, you have your best friend. What is life?
And literally your fucking inspiration. Like someone that's just,
bro.
You're like, are you serious, bro? Like,
so if that's what you're saying, you've found, bro, all the best, because that is crazy, and that's what.
Yeah, like I'm
that's
like
amazing.
Very inspired.
Yeah, because that is
I haven't experienced before. So that's
literally, in my opinion, the ideal reason why you should be dating.
Yeah.
If it's not that, I don't feel it. I don't feel like it makes. I don't think it makes sense for people to date if that's not the feeling they're getting. I feel like you're dating for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like when people are inspired, like it shows up in different forms.
Of course,
right? Like it doesn't have to be like this financial thing or like social. Like you can be inspired by your partner in so many different ways, right? Like
absolutely.
like you be inspired by someone just by seeing like how they take care of their family, right? Like it can literally be anything.
Yeah.
I think because of what we do for a living, like
we're just saying it's work related stuff.
It's so specific now because I'm used to doing so many different things that it's like when people in my past would talk about me, they would be like, Z does this, he does this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, he's always on the go. Like he's just talented, but whatever. Right. And it's like, I would always admire all my exes. I will say this, all of them had crazy work ethic. Right. Like, I will always admire that. But to say that I was like really, I've never been inspired this way.
Okay.
I've been inspired
in other ways.
But like, this is very different. This is very, very
This different. Is a direct correlation to your happiness right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very different. And it's like, even before we were dating, I was already inspired. I'm like, dude, this is another person in my circle who's fucking winning. Like just doing crazy shit, wants to do all these sick things. And I actually see them doing it. So it's like, okay, like it's
not just talking.
It's really not talk. It's not talk. Like when this person talks, like I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it just makes you want to level up, you know?
Well, I mean, you see Obama and Michelle, that's no accident.
Yeah. It's really not.
Like if you think Obama's Obama by himself, you're tripping.
Yeah, you're smoking.
You're fucking tripping.
You're smoking dick if you think
Obama he accumulated a lot for himself and became the president and all this stuff. But you think you did that shit by himself, you're fucking smoking crack.
It literally would not have happened.
Michelle is that fucking guy's backbone, bro. She is Obama's backbone. And he's admitted himself. He's like, yo, this woman, he was campaigning, regular man campaigning. And she was like, just sometimes even think about that story. It's just like really take yourself out of this stardom of Barack Obama. When Michelle met him, it's just like you dating your girl right now.
Yeah.
And me being like, or me dating someone and be like, yo, I'm gonna be president of the United States one day. And she's like, yeah, baby, you will. Everyone else is like, okay. Yeah. Like that's literally what's going on.
Yeah.
You and your girl being like, yo, don't worry about that. But you will do that. I'll campaign with you. Whatever you need, let's get it. We will make you president.
Yeah.
And then getting to president and being like, yo, we fucking did this.
And I've said this though. It's also different when you meet someone that like truly, you feel it. You know that they really see something in you that it's just one thing when people say like, I know you can do this, or like, I know you can do that, but like, it's just the way that some people will talk to you. You're like,
how do you know this?
You actually believe this,
right?
Like you actually really believe this almost more than I do.
Yes,
and then
where you're like, why? You're like,
and then you inadvert like. But the crazy thing is like, I also feel that way about her.
And she's like, what are you talking about?
That's the thing. Like,
right.
I actually feel this exact same way about her,
equally shared,
regardless of like the romantic bullshit. Like, I actually really feel this way. So I'm like, okay, like this is why it's different, because whether or not we were dating, I would still see this, and I'm quite sure she would still see this. And she's talked about how like it shows up in her life, but it's like, nah, this is crazy. It's just different. It's just different, you know? So we'll see what happens. We'll see where things go. But
yeah, you know. No, 100%. I mean, wish you the best. That shit makes me happy. Yeah, man. Life moves quick.
Very quick.
Life moves real quick.
Very quick.
Yeah, I think we good. Hour 46, hour 46, 45 or so. There's so much to talk about. I'm sure we missed stuff. I'm sure there's stuff. I mean, I'll be home at least the next few weeks.
Yeah,
so we'll definitely have another one
next week before I leave.
Yeah, we'll definitely have it. Oh yeah, you're gone. Zamora's gone to England, so
next Sunday.
We'll try to go before he goes. But yeah, guys, our WNTT era might be coming to an end.
Yeah.
Fucking a ride, bro.
It's crazy.
We went on a ride when we first met, to shooting our first podcast, to shooting our first live show, and seeing people outside. Like,
yeah, that's so wild.
We've been on a ride.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you, man. It's been incredible. Definitely gonna miss it, but I think we both
got one last episode. We got one more.
Yeah, we got one more, but I know the next one we'll just kind of just be having fun and talking. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely can say for myself, this podcast definitely changed my life.
Oh, man, for sure, bro.
Definitely changed my life in many ways, man. Yeah. Just taught myself about myself, about my behavior, things I like. I found out on the podcast through talking for the first time how I feel about certain things. Yeah, saying it out loud. You know,
super wild.
We both talked ourselves through breakups. Through like, yo, we've lost people, both of us. Like, so much, man.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So much. So thank you all, guys, for, you know, supporting us from the beginning, the middle, near the end. Whenever you found us, it's all been appreciated. And I think the podcast is gonna live forever. Like, these episodes, they're there.
They're just gonna stay there.
You know, it's documented, so it's not even like, we might be done making new ones, but like, I know at some point I'm gonna go back through. At some point I'm gonna have to go back to number one and just listen, kind of just, what were we talking about, bro? Like, really, I'll be like 45, 50 even, whatever, and just listen to, like, you know, 26-year-old Ryan, what the fuck he was talking about. When I have a family, be like, yo, this nigga's wild.
Yeah, man.
Like,
yeah, this is what we were doing.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be
back then.
It's documented. It's there. You know,
real thing.
Unless the internet shuts down, we'll have this
forever.
Yeah, you know. So until next episode, in our last episode, maybe not forever. I'm sure, you know, I'll be back different times, which I'm sure we'll just try and throw them in. But in terms of like consistent episodes, we'll be taking a break for an indefinite amount of time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Glad to be back.
Bro. Love you, man.
Love you, man. And love you guys too.
Yeah.
Till next episode. See y'all.
Peace.